This video I'm being led to do by the Spirit, by the leading of the Spirit, for you Gentiles, because you guys have never listened to us. You guys never listened to us. You've been conditioned to look down upon us and to cast us off as ignorant. All right? Now you're going to want to listen to us, because you're going to want to understand why this judgment is coming upon you. All right? So in my series, Who Are the Real Israelites?, I really highly encourage you Europeans and all nations to give a listen to that. It will be very beneficial to you. And to you Hebrews, I highly encourage you also to give a listen to that, because it gives the whole history of why we went into captivity. It gives we go in depth on why we kept going into captivity. What pissed the Most High off at us to the depth that he would send our asses into the harshest captivity that under the whole heaven has not another nation been done like that upon the people of Jerusalem. Why is that? We go into the whole history of that. So if you truly say you serve the Messiah, if you truly say that you follow the Messiah, and that you love the Most High, Hebrews, Christians alike, Hebrew and Gentile, it doesn't matter who you are. If you say that you follow the Messiah and that you love the Most High, then you will want to learn what the Most High will want you to learn, wouldn't you? Doesn't he say that you must become like a little child in order to enter into the kingdom? You must forget everything that you've been taught, because we have been born into a system of lies and deception. Now is the time that the Father has raised up his people to speak these words into the ears of those with the ears to hear and the heart to receive. And he'll give you the eyes to see. He'll remove them scales from your eyes. But you got to first give ear. Judgment is here, and it is upon the Gentiles. It is also still upon 2/3 of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The stiff-necked ones are running out of time. Those that continue to blaspheme against the righteous name of the Most High and Yahushua HaMashiach. You know, when I didn't know this, and I never had came upon the information before, I would like to believe that if I had seen in a post, that I wouldn't fight against the scriptures that are clearly telling us that he never gave us the animals to slaughter, that he never asked for sacrifices of his creation, and that he gave us the fruits and the trees, all the things that grow from the earth as our food, and that he gave the same thing to the animals. I would like to believe that when that's pointed out to me, that I wouldn't go and run to Paul's scripture saying that, oh, we can eat whatever we want to eat, and I wouldn't run to Leviticus. If I ran across a post that was, in depth and clear, I don't know, I would like to believe that I wouldn't fight like these brews are doing. Now, that being said, I did run across a video, okay? The first time that I heard this, that he never gave us animals to eat. The guy went through the pseudepigrapha, okay? And he read a few excerpts from, I forget where, either it was the book of Adam and Eve or something. I forget which book it was read from. But it declared in that book that it was Cain that offered up the animal as a bloody sacrifice. And that was the reason that the Most High didn't accept it. And that it was Abel that offered up the fruits. Now, since this was my first time hearing this, and I never read that scripture before, it wasn't in the Bible, and I was conditioned to believe that everything in the Bible was the truth, and that if anything contradicted the Bible, then, I felt, like conflicted. Like, I did feel convicted that maybe this was true, and it kind of made sense. But at the same time, I had that confliction in my brain, like, well, the Bible is infallible and all of that. So I had this reasoning going on, but I never dismissed it. I never dismissed it and said, oh, that's nonsense. Never said that. It basically sat on the shelf in my mind, like pondering on it, and seeking the Most High about it. And at the same time, I was going back and I was rereading the Bible from the beginning by the leading of the Spirit as I was coming into the knowledge of who I was. But a lot of these brews today, not saying that I'm better than them, it's just something that I notice. It's like they have this spirit about them, this rebellious spirit against the Most High and against the spirit of truth. Like, bro, we're clearly putting clear, concise scripture from the Bible that you say you believe in wholeheartedly. We're putting clear, concise scripture that's damning to your ideology. And you got the audacity and the nerve to call us veggie brews. And I ain't got a problem with the name. I don't mind being a veggie brew. Call me a veggie brew all you want. I'll gladly be called a veggie brew. One that follows the leading of the good shepherd. One that has the ears to hear the good shepherd. That small still voice on the inside of me that tells me it is wrong to shed innocent blood and wrong to eat dead things. How can dead things nourish the body? How can dead things nourish a living body? You're under a strong delusion. Clearly, you're under a strong delusion. The Father said He'll send them a strong delusion. And I can clearly see that many of these brews are literally under a strong delusion. And many of you Gentiles are literally under a strong delusion that you wholeheartedly believe that you are superior and that we are nothing because you have been conditioned to believe that, whether you know it or not. It's subconscious for many of you. You have been subconsciously programmed to view us a certain type of way. You have been socially conditioned to believe that we're all the same. So anyway, this video is by the leading of the Spirit, okay? And it's going to be coming together. It seems that it's going to be very extensive, kind of like the series Who Are the Real Israelites, because we gotta go into the depths of this. You Europeans need to understand your true history, okay? Because the history that you have been taught has been fabricated, okay? You guys have been sold a history that is not yours. Okay? You have been given things that was not yours to be given. It was not the givers to be given to you. Okay? Everything you have has been stolen from the ones that you look down upon. And you need to understand why it happened. Okay? You need to understand that you are actually the tool that the Father used to inflict judgment upon his people. Okay? And the same way that we were afflicting his innocent creation, all right? Many of the Israelites' innocent children were afflicted. Okay? I have Gentile friends. Okay? I have this one Gentile friend in particular. And I'm not going to say the name. But we got into a conversation one day. And she literally was adamant about the fact that she doesn't believe that God, a loving God, would allow something bad to happen to her little grandchildren, her little grandbabies, and all of that, because children are innocent. And I feel her pain. I empathize with her. I can understand, from a human perspective. From a human perspective, I get it. I understand that you truly believe that the Most High wouldn't allow any danger to come to a little innocent child. But think about the Israelites, the Hebrews, okay? The so-called black people during slavery. And the Father turned his face away from us. So our babies were stolen from us. Fed to alligators, used as alligator bait. Mothers' wombs were sliced open and babies ripped out and slammed on the ground, eaten, because many of these heathens were cannibals. So they would eat our babies, okay? They would eat us, all right? Many of these heathens would dig up mummies and eat the remains. Okay? You need to understand your true history. You have been taught a false history. The history that you think you have as an Irishman, and I'm not picking on anybody in particular. I got several Gentile friends. All right? Several Gentile friends, and I'm not doing this to offend them. I'm doing this to help you. I am here to save you. I'm here to be a light to you, to lead you to the good shepherd. And sometimes there's going to be things that's hard for you to hear. Okay? But by the leading of the Spirit, if you have the ears to hear, you will hear. The history that you have been taught is a fabricated history. All right? There was no such thing as white people. There was no such thing as black people back in those days. Okay? Back in the days of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I mean, Noah was born albino. And he shocked his own father. They were not used to seeing pale skin. Pale skin is a new thing in the earth, okay? There's no way that you guys can be superior with pale skin when that's literally a recessive version of perfect skin. That is not a racist statement. That's literally the absolute truth. Okay? Two white people cannot produce a black child. You guys are not the original. Okay? We have all been lied to. We have all been taught falsehoods and deceptions. You need to come face to face with that. You need to come to that realization. In order to heal, there must first be a wound. Okay? And if you don't allow yourself to get wounded, you're never going to be able to heal. But you got to get wounded because you live in a false reality. So it's going to wound you to come to that realization. It's going to wound you to know that you don't have a true history in Ireland. Okay? You don't have a true history in Great Britain. In all these places where there's seasons. Because that's Shem's land. We're not going to go based upon the ideologies of this world and what we know today as the world map, and what these Gentiles have labeled everything and renamed everything, sectioned off lands and changed and been renamed and relocated. No, we're not going based upon that. We're going based upon what the scripture declared, the lands on who it belongs to. Shem got the best lands, and we're not just talking about the Israelites, we're talking about all of Shem. All of the Shemites from Shem, and all the Hebrews and everybody from Eber. Okay, because the Hebrews are Shemites, and there's Shemites that's not Hebrews. You got to understand that Abraham had a lot of freaking children. He had a lot of offspring that are not Gentiles. Shemites are not Gentiles. Let me say that again. Shemites are not Gentiles. Hamites are not Gentiles. Hamites are not Shemites. But you do have a mixture of people. Okay, so there has been some blending going on. So you got some Shemites that made it with Japhethites and that made it with Hamites. All right, so you got some of them mixed breed nations going on. All right, but the original people, Shem was given the best lands. Okay, Ham was given the hot lands. It doesn't have seasons. So that's how we find the lands that belongs to who belongs where. Okay, Ireland has seasons. So European white people, Gentiles, you guys are not originally from that land. Japan. There is a lot of Shemites. Understand, everywhere where there is a blend of hot and cold, everywhere where there is seasons, that's Shem's land. Okay? Shem is not just talking about the Israelites. Yeah, we had our promised land. But the land, the best lands, Shem got the lot of the best lands. And Japheth got the lot of the cold lands. So all the lands where it's extremely cold, there are no seasons. It's cold year round. Where Ham is, it's hot year round. Everywhere where there is a blend of hot and cold is Shem's land. That's how we find the land that belongs to who? We don't find the Israelites by this world's ideology. We find the Israelites by what the scripture declared the Israelites would be going through, by the circumstances, by the freaking signs and the wonders that's upon the nation. Not nations, nation. Okay? There's only one nation of Israel. Okay? There's 12 tribes, but there's only one nation. We've been taught a lot of lies. Okay? So you want to sit there and say that, oh, the Negroes are just a tribe of Judah. No. All of the Israelites are black. Go watch that series, Who Are the Real Israelites? Alright? So anyway, we're going to get into it. we got a lot to discuss within this new series that I'm going to be coming out with. And just by the leading of the Spirit, we're going to get it. Okay? This is going to be called the affliction of the Gentiles. Why? Why is there such affliction upon the Gentiles? Okay? Why is there such affliction upon the European nations? Upon all the nations that went into confederacy with one another against the true seed of Israel? It's very important that you understand, because judgment is already started in the European countries. All right? And India and all over the freaking world. In Spain, like, you got catastrophic events happening all over the earth, and the media here in America has a blackout on it. I talk to several people in my day-to-day life around me here in Tulsa, like, asking them, have you heard about the blizzard over in Russia? They're like, no. I'm like, have you heard about La Palma in Spain, that volcano that's been going off for over a month? They're like, no. Like, are you serious? And you watch the news, so your news is not telling you what you need to know. All these catastrophes all over the freaking earth. How come the media ain't talking about that? Is the media telling you about Grizzly Maxwell, however you say her name? How she's on trial? How all these major CEOs are dropping down from there? Man, we can get into a lot of stuff here. The amount of wickedness that's been happened upon this earth has reached a high heaven. Okay, we just had a blood moon, and that signified an event. Okay, the time of the Gentiles has basically come to an end. Your time for committing all kinds of wickedness and atrocities upon the earth and upon the Father's people, especially upon his 1/3. Your time is up against us. You can still have your way with the 2/3, because it's declared in the scripture that 2/3 of us is going to perish. All right? 2/3 of us going to be cast into outer darkness. So you can still have your way with the 2/3 according to the Most High. But you shall not touch his anointed. So anyway, we got a lot to go through. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and put this out to let you guys know that this is what I'm going to be working on. And until the next video, shalom.